Kevin Roose is the journalist we spoke about last week. He's the guy who snuck into the Wall Street secret society party and saw all the dudes in drag that were mocking the poor. Crazy situation. Well, apparently he has an entire book on Wall Street coming out called Young Money Inside the Hidden World of Wall Street's Post-Crash Recruits. Now, the book is a little different from the stunt that he pulled in its content. He actually gets permission and follows 8 20-something-year-olds around Wall Street at their jobs. They're like the newbies on Wall Street, so he gets to see how they live. And the findings are spectacular and enlightening. So in an interview with Huffington Post, he said, quote, "I expected going into this that I'd find a bunch of young bankers who spend all their time doing coke and going to strip clubs and driving fast cars. That's the stereotype. I didn't find any of that. In fact, most of the young bankers that I followed were pretty depressed. They worked 100 hours a week. They never saw their friends. They had no ability to plan for events because everything could be interrupted by work. And so even though they were making good money, it was almost like it didn't matter because they were so unhappy." Wow, that's fascinating. So the more I read about this, and then I sat back and I thought about it, and I thought, well, wait a second, that makes perfect sense. Not even the obvious part, which is that they work all the time and then they're depressed as a result of it. That's a given. But just the fact that even within the confines of Wall Street, there is a rigid hierarchy. And it's not like everybody on Wall Street is exactly the same and they're living that high, mighty lifestyle where they do whatever they want, and the coke and the strippers and the mansions and the Ferraris and the Maseratis. No. That is just reserved for the head honchos, for the guys at the top. Now, we actually heard that aspect of the story from the other week. Like I said, when Kevin Roose snuck into that secret society party with all the billionaires on Wall Street and the CEOs and the head honchos. And those are the guys who are doing the coke and going around with the strippers, and they have 6 vacation homes, and they're trying to insulate themselves. And think about it. So the guys who eventually get to the top, they become like dictators. They become like authoritarian, fascist kind of characters. And they make the newbies bust their fucking ass 24/7. And this is the perfect example of that. Did you know they only get 1 day off? Only Saturdays. And supposedly that's a new policy that they've kind of implemented on Wall Street, where beforehand, everybody works 7 days a week. So all the young guys working 7 days a week, it was just crazy, nonstop work. You don't have any free time. You don't have any life whatsoever. And keep in mind, these guys, I know this sounds kind of pretentious, but they only make about, $250,000, maybe $400,000 max a year, the ones that he's talking about here. So, and I know that's a lot, don't get me wrong, but for not having a life at all, I don't think I would take that amount of money to essentially sell my soul and have no life whatsoever. I couldn't do that. But the other guys are the ones making $20 million a year, $30 million a year, the huge bonuses when they bankrupted their companies, the ones that took the bailout, the ones that have billions of dollars in the bank, literally. So there's this two-world thing going on right now where you have the haves and the have-nots within Wall Street. You have the ones who just bust their ass and only get paid the $250,000, $300,000 or whatever, and the ones who sit on their ass all day and do nothing, and they're the billionaires. They are the ones who have, corrupted the political system, bought the politicians, get the bailouts, rig the markets, make casino capitalist bets, commit fraud, and turn around and bet against a product that they just sold as being good, like they did at Goldman Sachs. So it's a crazy, scary world over there, man, and it just shows you we really have in the U.S., like, if an alien came down and he saw how Wall Street functions and what's going on, they'd be like, you're doing it exactly wrong. Like, do you not realize you probably only have one chance at being a conscious being, and you should probably try to be happy and find things that are fulfilling and have plenty of leisure time? And what are you guys doing? You got these soulless addicts to money, and that's exactly what they are. There was another article, I forget where it was, I think New York Magazine, where somebody wrote about how I was on Wall Street, I had to leave because I became addicted to money, like it was heroin or cocaine. Okay, so you have money addicts at the top who are calling all the shots, and all they care about is greed, all they care about is, hedonistic fulfillment, and then everybody else is like, busting their ass for nothing, and they're miserable. An alien would be like, blow up the whole fucking thing and start over. You guys look stupid. You're just wasting your time.